Hello, today we'll be showing you how to manage your Microsoft 365 licenses within the Snow Atlas platform. So, first, start off with reviewing your Microsoft 365 data within your Snow Atlas platform. So, the key way of doing this is by coming to your SAM core, going to reports, and reviewing the section for Microsoft. Using this section, you give a number of reports that have been designed specifically to target Microsoft 365 applications that can be used to review costs, linked users, unlinked users, and other such insights. To note, there's a couple of different ways of getting the M365 data into the platform. The initial way you can use is collecting M365 application data via the Snow Inventory agent, which collects the software rows and data that will create recognition for the M365 applications. And that allows you to get an insight into how this is being collected and used within your business. Alternatively, you can use the Snow Integration Manager with the Microsoft 365 connector to get an insight into your activity, application costs, and usage, as well as link users that have metering and collected application recognition via the Snow Inventory agent that can be then attached to the Snow Atlas platform to be reviewed. So one of the key things we'd want to be checking is your compliance summary for your M365 applications. So by going into this report and clicking Show Report, we get a key information into the breakdown of how we have licenses, how we've got them set up, how much license requirement there is, as well as the cost of this. For example, we have a license set up for Windows 11 Enterprise underneath the licensing tab. And we can see from here, we have a license requirement of 9. We have a license requirement of 0, and we have 10 licenses, and total cost of this is 210 euros. But as we do not have a license up for other such sections, we can see that this doesn't get covered in the same respect, apart from the Microsoft SQL Server 2022, where we do have a license up with a 50 licenses and only a requirement of 1. So we have a compliance of 49, meaning we have 49 licenses that might not be used and have potential areas we could be looking to save on. So going back to the reports, one of the key things that for a lot of Microsoft environments is the license types, for example, E3 and E1. So what does this mean? Coming into here, we can take a look. By using this, that means users that may not have the M365 application for enterprise components on any of their venture devices in the last 90 days. And this could mean that the E1 plan could be used instead of the E3 plan, which is a cheaper plan to purchase that might not have access to as many components and be areas of savings. For example, if we hit Show Report, we don't have any in our current example, but this would mean down to how our applications are collected by the computers. For example, if we come to one of the computers, for example, this computer here, that we know that does have the application for an M365. As we can see here, it has a number of M365 applications, such as M365 Enterprise. As we can see, if we expand this, it gives us an insight to, we have a number of applications that have been used by this device and by the user, where it, in this case, doesn't have any last used, but we do have a number of applications that have been collected via the agent. And this is an insight into how it builds up that report, is taking data such as this into consideration to try and give you an accurate understanding of where you could have potential savings from an E3 to an E1 license. Similar to this, we have other such reports that give key factors and details. For example, as Microsoft moved away from Skype to Teams, there's a report to show activity to give that insight into how to break it down, and other such key information such as M365 subscription plan cost and usage of the software. For example, we go into here, as you can see here, it comes with a default number of factors already put in place to monitor and limit the usage. As this data comes in from the number of connectors. It will give you the insight into such areas and allow you to manage, monitor, maintain your compliance with the M365 applications, as well as giving you some insights into potential savings and reductions or increase where you need to for your compliance coverage. I hope this has helped you gain an understanding of how to manage your M365 licenses. Thank you very much for watching.